I missed you all. I'm so happy to be back with this bonus episode. I wanted to put it out there because I love you all. I love you for listening. I love you for your messages and missing the podcast. And I miss you too. And we are doing some amazing things right now, recording some amazing podcasts, some funny, crazy, dance momish, heated rivalry. You're going to get it all. So, but this one, I did a collaboration podcast with Lisa Mitzel, who is a mental performance coach as well as an educator. And she has a podcast called Conditioned to Win. And I'm going to be on hers. This podcast will actually be. And it was so good to be back. We talked about Alysa Liu, my queen. She's my queen. And what parents can do when they start to feel competitive, as well as the LA Olympics, which are coming. Get your tickets. So please welcome to the stage, John and Lisa. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to your bonus episode with Dance Dad with John Corella and with Lisa Mitzel. Has her own podcast. Welcome back.
Hi, John.
Hi. And Lisa Mitzel is a mental performance coach as well as an educator. And tell us the name of your podcast.
Conditioned to Win.
Okay. We're doing a collaborative podcast. So you're up. Here you go, Lisa.
Thanks, John. Well, it's so nice to hear those words. Welcome back. In the whole scheme of sport and dance and you and I have been in the industry for a long time. I had a little bit of professional dancing in my early 20s. It is so wonderful to be able to sit down with you and talk, because this is John Corella, everybody, for Conditioned to Win. He's the creator of Dance Moms. He's a dance teacher. This is his podcast, Dance Dads, and just an inspired person for mental health, wellness, the whole person, and really being a positive influence for young dancers. And I just love talking with you and listening to all the things that you stand for.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you. Because, I don't hear that enough. So thank you for validating that and reminding me of that. Because sometimes I just feel like I'm on a soapbox, but it's a good soapbox. But so you had your first, you wanted to talk about, and I love how your podcast does these small, healthy, digestive points of view that we can take in a short amount of time and get a lot out of it. And I know I reached out to you telling you how much I love Alysa Liu from the Olympics. And, she's closer to gymnastics to me than dance. But, what about present performance versus being the best and results focused?
Well, I have to say, I am still on a cloud of Alysa Liu. I mean, she's just like talking and living in the world that I have been, I've been trying to teach. I've been working on. I've been trying to spread these messages. And in sports, and especially in gymnastics, when we have this history of hard work, sacrifice everything, get the medals, and the history, and yet here we are.
In skating, I heard a podcast from her prior when it was before the Olympics. What made her quit? And it was it's very gymnast, toxic environment.
Ice skating,
body
world.
shaming. But anyways, so
I'm on this cloud because she has become this beacon of light for all of us to say, oh my gosh, what a great way of approaching training and competition, that the athlete has a voice, that, and obviously she's 20, she's not 8, but it's the whole concept is making it more of a human experience instead of just results oriented. And so, present moment, living in the present moment, training and being aware of, oh, my body's starting to hurt, something's hurting, like be aware and then address it instead of just stuff that down and just, you got to be tough. You got to
Toughen
be
up,
mentally tough. Yeah.
toughen up.
So, I mean, there's so many messages that she is bringing, to the microphone, so to speak, as we are all really wanting and seeking good leadership, right? We want these positive voices who are teaching us life lessons. It's not just about how to be successful in the Olympics is to skate with joy. That's not just the message. It's how to live, right? And how to treat each other and hug each other. And
How
so I'm
can
just really,
parents take that into it? Gym parents, dance gym, or
yeah,
gym moms, dance moms.
dance
How can they
moms.
take Alysa Liu into their own daily life?
That's a good question. We see these people, these performances, we see, all these wonderful messages on social media. Now, how do we implement it? And I think it's, you first you surround yourself with the people who have the same values.
And she did that with her coaches because she changed coaches.
Mhm.
I mean, at least I believe she did from when she was really young.
Yeah.
One of the coaches had to she had to convince the coach to take her back because he was concerned about her mental health. She said he pretty much
Right.
gave her a psych evaluation before she went back. But
Yeah.
she changed her team. So change your environment, surround who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah. I mean, I'm writing I'm writing and I'm posting, I'm creating content. And I think that, when you get down to the granular level, it's the parents with the children, right? And
Mm.
what are the family values? How are we, walking the walk for making sure that our children are not just quote unquote slaves to somebody else's values, like when we go to whether it's a dance studio or a gym or some other sports program, are we all of a sudden as parents surrendering our family values to fit in to the sport team or the dance studio? It's so important that we have a conversation with the coaches or with the dance teachers and say, well, this is really important to me as a parent.
What if they don't
And
allow those conversations? Because I know some gyms don't and some dance
yeah,
studios don't.
yeah, well,
Leave. Yeah.
I
I
think
mean, I
that
think,
if
yeah.
if the parent is afraid, and I've been actually thinking about this, if the parent is afraid to talk to them or be different and stand out, how is that modeling to the child that we want the child to speak up when there's a
Mm.
problem? We want the child to be a leader of themselves. We want the child to seek what is healthy and good and right. How is that role modeling and giving them a sense that, hey, I want you to feel confident out there while you're performing, but don't say anything because we want you to fit in.
Well, and it's almost to some extent, um, this is kind of coming up a little bit, but in a family dynamic, if there is one abuser that's abusing a child and a parent is not saying anything about that child being abused, they're kind of just at fault, even though they're not abusing them. So that's an extreme. But I think if your kid is in a dance studio on my end and they're in a toxic environment, even though you're not technically doing it, but by having them there, I'm sure they're going to, as they get older, going to realize, why would you keep me in that environment when it was so abusive to me and hurtful?
Yeah, and I don't think we wanted to go way into any kind of real abuse today. I think what the important thing is that when we look at somebody like Alysa Liu, she became the leader of herself. She is the one that decided that was hurtful and I don't want to do that again. And so she, in essence, she had the voice. And so we want to teach kids, if we want to help them have joy If we
Mhm.
want to help them perform in the present moment, then as parents, we need to help them develop that with our own role modeling and leadership and family values. So it's,
I guess I was saying more
yeah,
because I just came off of another podcast with her.
yeah,
She did talk about
yeah,
abuse when she was younger,
yeah,
body image and verbal, not physical. I know people always think physical abuse
yeah,
is physical, but verbal.
yeah,
So, what do you have to say to parents in the gym or dance studios that, we're a lot of us are, Gen Xers, some millennials, we were kind of taught to win and focus on results. So, but they want to change. So, how can you still, when you feel that value coming up of winning as a parent and you want to change to not having that value, what can they do to get out of that? Because it's going to
yeah,
come up if that's how we were conditioned.
yeah, yeah. I just sent an email to the mom of one of the kids that I work with. I've been working with a boy gymnast, and then
Ooh,
his
go boy gymnast coming to
yeah,
you. I
yeah.
love that.
And the mom was saying to me that he's got state meets coming up, and then maybe he might squeeze in and qualify for regionals. And then she's like, but if he doesn't, then her heart, she goes, my mom heart is going to break because he'll be crushed. And so this is so common that parents are afraid that their children are going to be crushed. And I'm like,
Mm.
wait a second.
We were crushed. We were fine.
But that is life.
Mhm.
Life is disappointing at times.
Mhm.
Life can feel difficult and upsetting and frustrating. And when we question, you know, am I good enough? Why should I stay in the sport? Like we have all of these doubts. We have all of these questions. And is it our job to try and rescue our children from the emotional difficulty or the pain of disappointment? Is that our job? No.
Mm.
If we are shifting as a culture to try and help our kids be leaders of themselves, right? We're trying to help our kids manage disappointment. Then we sit with them, we hug them, and we echo, gosh, I'm sorry, this is hard, right? But I am here with you. I am with you
Mm.
every step of the way. And
It's
that is the
interesting you
most
say that
important thing.
because when my brother and I can say this because my dad, he's a man. He, when we would not do well competition, he would get very uncomfortable and not talk to us because he didn't know how to deal with his disappointment. So why I brought that, I'm happy that that boy is going to you because I think it's even more predominant in boys
Mm,
and even in, I have someone coming up in the future who is a former world champion male gymnast who talked about the little bit of the toxic masculinity environment, even in male gymnastics. So that's why I brought that up. But to be
yeah.
okay with feeling pain is
Yeah.
showing these kids, like you said, that's life, emotional pain when you
Yes.
lose. And I always tell people, going back to performance, rather than, I learned this from Howard Fine, he teaches acting. He said, rather than be good, be present.
Mm,
So before you're going on stage, rather than being good, I got to be good out there, I'm going to be present. So
yeah.
hopefully you all can take that into your gymnastics, your beam, your contemporary.
I was just going to tag on Alysa Liu. She was saying, well, if I do fall, if I do mess up, she goes, that's part of the story.
I know, like she's enlightened. When I
She
was listening to her,
is.
I'm like, this is enlightenment. She said, it'll be good
Yeah.
entertainment. That's kind of what good drama,
Yes.
it'll get a
Yes.
feeling. You might not be joyful, but you're going to be sad with me. And Good for
Yeah.
her. I don't know where she learned that from. Maybe her coaches, maybe her dad, maybe everyone, maybe herself. Good for
Yeah.
them. So, do
Yeah.
you want to take question 2 or point number 2 on body
Uh,
image issues?
yeah. So what did I say? Body image, like
Issues
perfection.
versus embracing everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what came to my mind is that as a society, we don't embrace older people.
Mm.
As they get, as we, I'm getting older, as we
Me
get
too.
wrinkly and softer and all these things. And then there you've got somebody like Jamie Lee Curtis, right? And she is this vibrant, amazing human being, and she celebrates, you
Watch her in
know.
the last showgirl.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if
Okay.
you saw that, but she celebrates her body for sure in that. But keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for children, when they're in a sport that is the aesthetics are so important, the lines of the body, right? The curves of the body, the extension. I mean, I remember in gymnastics, I was very much into dance, and we had mirrors, 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 just like a dance studio. And I would stare at my lines, and
Mm.
I made sure that I was thinking, I was focused on my body, what it looked like. And I think that when we are raising children, it is really a conversation that typically we don't have with kids, is loving your fingers, your hands, your arms, just the way they are. These are a gift. And instead of thinking about, that I have to have this perfect body or it has to be a certain way so that I am, not judged negatively, but that people admire my body, right?
Mhm.
We have to have these conversations with children in how to love our body and appreciate other bodies and
What do
how
you have to say
everybody's
to
different.
parents who think that you have to have a small body for
Mm,
gymnastics and
mm.
dance? Alyssa, Alyssa Liu,
Yeah.
she does not have that
Mm,
type of body. What do you have to say?
mm-mm.
And she talks about that too, how people would, some coaches would tell her, don't even drink water. You're not going to be, you need to be light to do the turns in the air. And she said, a lot of it's not true. This,
Yeah.
what we're taught about having. So that's why I'm saying, what do you have to say to people who think they have to be petite for gym and dance?
Well, again, this goes back to family values. So parents, 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 I love every single parent because we're all on this journey together. We're all on this journey together. And when a parent has aspirations for their child, then it's just notice it. Notice, do you start to put the aspirations of achievement ahead of conversation about my body and how I love my body? Does the mom, does the dad, do they talk about how they appreciate their body? Right?
Mhm.
So it all of this goes back to, do I value conversations in developing
Mhm.
my children's awareness, their self-awareness, awareness of, if somebody else is hurting, if somebody else feels left out, right? Is somebody being teased because they're bigger or they're smaller or they're different in some way, right? It's so important that we have these conversations in our own home. And to me, that is one of the most, I am so grateful to my parents because they were all about the little person, the people who are marginalized, the people who
Mm.
are not accepted and embraced in popular society. And so I'm one of 7 kids. I grew up going to church every Sunday, and my parents were all about that we are all one big family. Jesus loves every single one of us and every person on the planet, and it's up to us to create that connection. It's up to us to be the love We are love. And so it's having those conversations with your children.
And when we're out there showing what we love too. Alysa
Mm.
Liu, you saw how much she loved to skate. On the flip side, and I don't know this man's journey, this young man's journey, but the quad god, I think he
Yeah.
was focusing on results.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, I mean, he even was like, what happened? I can't, that's not me as an athlete.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say to people though? Because I'm kind of like this. When you say, just so the listeners know, anytime I say, what do you have to say to people? It's really me.
We're always talking to ourselves, right?
What do you have to say to people who all of a sudden they get this wisdom like, oh, if you focus on the love, you'll win.
Mm.
That's kind of because Alysa Liu, she can say that because she kind of won. She won.
Yeah.
She won the
Yeah.
gold. So she's like, oh, I'm just in the moment and present. And so what do you have to
Right.
say to the people that want to take this advice so they can win?
Oh, they're almost using it as some kind of manipulation or strategy versus really being present and really feeling the joy. That's where they're at right now, John. We can't, if we're trying to within ourselves, within our own minds, not judge ourselves, right? And really stay present and be a voice of positivity and love, then we don't want to judge the people who are being different, who are maybe trying to
How dare you,
manipulate.
Lisa? Look at you. You're reading me. You always do this. You always catch me. Maybe too, I thought of this while you're talking is find the joy in failing.
Mm. Yeah, you talked about that last time, fail better. Um,
It,
I don't know if that in my world,
okay.
right? When I work with athletes and I've worked with dancers and rhythmic dancers or rhythmic gymnasts and people who are very much perfectionists, people who are young
Mhm.
people, young athletes who are aching to achieve because they do have a lot of doubts and they don't always feel good about themselves. And so if you say something like find the joy in failing, I don't know, at least in my world, if that's going to fly. What I say
Okay.
every single time, okay, is that we are here to learn and to grow.
Mm.
Okay, we're here to learn and grow, okay, and love. But every you could say the word failure, every mistake, right? Every setback, all of these are opportunities. It's opportunity to learn. So it is a gift, even though it doesn't feel like one, it is a gift to have these challenges. Okay, to fall and make mistakes. It's okay. How can I learn to be kinder to myself? How can I, because when you practice self kindness and self compassion, you actually become more resilient. You actually become stronger. So, self kindness and self compassion in a moment of failure, in a moment of embarrassment, in a moment of feeling like you're nothing because you didn't achieve, you didn't reach the goal. That actually makes you stronger. So it is an opportunity to get stronger. It's an opportunity to learn. And there's so many wonderful things that can come out of a moment of failure. I
Or
mean,
maybe
look at,
that's what I meant. The
yeah.
gifts. You said gifts, not joy. But who I'd love to talk to is the girl who didn't win, Amber.
Mm,
See how, and she might be like, I'm the flip side of her, of Alysa Liu.
yeah.
I'm joy and I didn't get it still. I'm still happy with my performance. It would be interesting to kind of talk to her, so if anybody knows Amber, send her my way. She's a very amazing queer advocate too. She's
Yeah.
bold, bold, bold,
Yes.
bold. And ironically, I feel right now in today's society, maybe not with you and I, because we celebrate people like that, but
Yeah.
what she's teaching us, the world, is pretty bold, Alysa
Yes.
Liu.
Oh, to me, it's the shock that rippled through sports.
Very Simone Biles-ish, a little Simone Biles vibe of shaking up this organization or this method that you think you have to do.
Well, I was thinking about that. So, for the last, I grew up with a mom who told me and taught me how to celebrate every opportunity, how to, like I said, see every challenge, every mistake as an opportunity to learn. Joy, joy, joy. She taught me that when you go into a competition, that you get to wish people good luck. You get to celebrate like this is a party. We're all here together. Like my mom, I'm so lucky that she gave
Mm.
me these messages because I have learned to embody them. And
Well, those messages your mom gave to
yeah,
you, I give to
yeah.
the kids that I teach.
Yes,
I
I
tell
know
them
you do. I know.
because I've learned it from you, bless the competitor. Be
Yes.
grateful they're there because there wouldn't be a competition if they weren't there.
Yes. Yes. So when we think about, what's happening now, I think about, well, from COVID and just a lot of other athletes in the 2000s speaking up, starting to speak up and say, this is not right. This is not healthy. Then Naomi Osaka spoke up right around, just before from the French Open and everything. And then Simone Biles spoke up. And I think the main message for them was mental health or just, personal health, physical and mental health. So mental health, it started becoming this big buzzword, especially in the sports world. And now it's gone not just for health, but to fully be alive and be joyful and enjoy competition and to be free of all these constraints of having to perform your best. You have to perform your best. Alyssa's like, I get the stage. Like, she's like, I get to perform.
I love
It's
what she
not,
said
yeah.
after, I'm sure that you have my podcast is 18 and over, but yours isn't. But
Yeah.
I love what she said when she came off. She was so happy. And in the moment, she just was like, this was amazing. And,
Yeah.
and I saw her with her coaches, when she was shaking them. They started to talk about scores or coaches, and she was like, I
Yeah.
don't even care. It was so fun. Like I heard her mumble something like that. Like, yeah, we're sitting down for the scores, but
Yeah.
whatever happened, I'm even getting goosebumps, like saying that. So,
Yeah.
and I hope that more women are always, in my opinion, on the leaders of mental health. I hope
Mm.
more male athletes, male dancers use their voice to talk about, to shake up the system of mental health as a male athlete and a male
Well,
journalist.
if any of the listeners, okay, for Condition to Win or Dance Dads, if you start following or at least taking notice of this topic of mental health and well-being or wellness in the sports world, and you start looking at football, you start looking at baseball, basketball, some of these mainstream, more masculine like sports, there are coaches and athletes speaking up in,
Oh, okay.
for men's
Good.
sports. There are. When we look at somebody in ice skating, that's definitely a powerful voice on the Olympic stage. So, Elia, am I saying his name correctly?
Yes.
For him to have this like aha moment at the Olympics, like I was trying to like fulfill this expectation that I am the quad god and I should be winning gold, and that's the expectation, right? Whatever was spinning in his head, he's had this aha moment that what was I doing? Why was I thinking those thoughts and spinning in my head before I even got out on the ice? He goes, I want to be more like Alyssa Liu, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's really had an aha moment. So,
Good.
so that's in the skating world and the Olympic world, which is fabulous. And then we want to trickle that down to sports like soccer and football and basketball and baseball and things that, I know soccer's in the Olympics too. That's summer sport, but But yeah, I
Summer
think if we
Olympics coming to LA. I'm getting my tickets in a month. They're calling me. I'm so excited. So,
yeah.
I know we're going to close out here. Is
Yeah.
there any final question you want to ask me?
Yeah, you're so good at asking questions. Well, I was very, very curious, and this is why I wanted to talk with you, is because I'm not in the dance world like you are. Are you observing? Because I know that you're out there, you're teaching, you're with the kids, you're
Mhm.
talking with the parents. What are you observing that you think, is still a challenge in terms of uh, not just going out and performing great and being joyful, but in the whole process of daily training,
Mm.
practicing, and how do we continue to teach the parents? What are you observing?
What's
What are the
sticking out is
challenges?
what you said about parents allowing, and this is a collective, parents, not any specific parent that I do know. This is what I'm seeing collectively, but
Yeah.
not allowing them to fail, getting uncomfortable, trying
Mm,
to block them learning and maybe trying to dodge it. Like I see them trying to dodge it. And with that, I think it hurts the child because then the child's not taking accountability for their ability. Similar to saying, oh, they need a new leotard for beam. Or can you change their beam choreography when they're doing a back handspring with bent knees and falling off? Not
mm,
focusing on that aspect. So
mhm.
really trying to control because they can't go and do the back handspring for their kid. So then
Yeah.
trying to come in and control every other dynamic
Mm.
rather than, I know you fell on that back handspring and I know you're working hard. Maybe let's consider, going back in there. And I don't know, let's go back in there. And it takes time. These skills are hard, and and I'm here for you when you get it and when you don't.
Yeah, it's mental endurance, and what parents often, and I don't mean this in a judgmental way. This is habitual in the sports world, in the dance world, maybe too. Is that parents are also looking for quicker results and achievement. They want to see their child move up with their friends. They want to see their child get the specific private help that they need, or they do get uncomfortable when their child is not doing as well. I don't want my mom heart to be crushed. I don't want my child to be crushed, right? And so it's avoiding discomfort, and it's trying to be on the fast track to getting, results. And so it's mental endurance, it's
Mm,
patience. It's really about the journey and learning wonderful life lessons on this journey and helping your teammate or, somebody in your dance team, and being that you are a channel of optimism, patience, love. That's fantastic that you get to be on this journey, just that you're
yeah.
here, just that you're here. So look, it's almost like when we go out for a walk in nature, get close to a tree and a branch and a leaf and look at the veins of the leaf. Be fully into the awe and wonder of that tree. Okay. Instead of just passing it by and getting to the next and the next and then finishing the loop and, oh, I did it. Like, be in the present moment. That's what Alysa Liu is teaching us, right?
Mm, yeah. Reminding, teaching. Yeah. Well, this has been, I'm going to go, I wish I could dye my hair like her. You can, Lisa. I can. I don't
Oh,
have enough
John,
hair.
I don't
So
think you need that.
on the last thing, because I like to do this question, and then we're gonna
Yeah,
let you viewers digest it or listeners
yeah,
digest this.
yeah.
Is what's the boldest thing you've done on your break?
Well, when we talk about my break, I just have taken a little break with my podcast because I've been going hard on my social media. I want to be more present for people who follow me or for people who need help. I want to, so bold
Yeah.
is kind of taking some risks in my business and in what do I believe? Lisa Mitzel, what do you believe? Do you believe that you are meant to be here and be of service? Do you believe that the clients and the income are going to arrive exactly when you need it? Do you believe that you're on the path that you're supposed to be on? So that's bold for me.
Yeah.
And
Belief.
and it's faith. It's having faith in all the goodness in the universe and in the industry, and that I am on the right path. So that's my bold move.
And I believe you probably are going to fall off your chair and shake your
Okay.
head no. My belief is my hope is that you are sitting at that USA Gymnastics table and they bring you on to help their elite athletes. So I'm just saying that, everyone. But the boldest thing I've done is on my break is take a break.
Yes.
So that's the boldest thing. And I miss you all. And I'm happy to be here again. And I'll have more. I'm excited for the new season that's coming up. When is your when are you kickstarting back into your podcast?
This is it. This
Oh.
is so. At the beginning of the year, I started doing short version shows, like short length, instead of like a full hour. And I really like that. I want to do like 10-minute more, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You and I right now, we're going a little bit longer than that. We're going maybe 25 at the most, 30. But because for me, I want to keep showing up consistently, and I'm just doing I wear different hats. I'm juggling different things. But I really like the platform. I really like that it's another way that if somebody's walking or running errands or doing things, that they can listen. And so, the short form I started, and that's what I'm going to continue doing.
Well, thank you all for listening to our short form program, like skaters have. We look forward. We look forward to giving you more in the future. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, John. You're so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to Dance Dad with John Corella. Thank you to everyone at Hivecast for all that you do. And if this episode meant something to you, please share it and subscribe. Also, you can follow Dance Dad with John Corella on all platforms. But most importantly, remember to be bold and be fierce.